ready to go now in the Berkshire station to the left of your picture. And it's Fistravec and Fridman from Slovenia and Israel on the right on the Buck station. And in the blue, they're going very close to Temple Island here, Mark Hunter.
Yeah, that's a dodgy steer in there, straight up the bottom. That's the last thing you want as a crew to, you know, you kind of have your start routine, you start playing, you get off.
And now look where they're going.
And this is what happens. You go into the island, then you kind of get pushed across to the other side to impede the other crew.
It's Beaumont and Middleton who are being asked by the umpire to get back across to their side of the water. So it was a slightly scrappy start from both boats.
But that's always the interesting thing in that section of the race, because of the bank, the way it moves away from you and moves close to you. You know, your peripherals, it kind of takes away from where the boys are actually running in line. But as you can see, Jack and Nick, you know, really talented young guys from Leander. These guys have just missed out on the kind of team going to Rio, but I'm sure you'll see these guys in a couple of years in Tokyo.
Jack Beaumont at the front there in the stroke seat, 22 years old, son of Olympic rower Peter Beaumont. Achieved lots in a short space of time, Jack Beaumont, and in the face of adversity as well. Nick Middleton in the bow seat, and then we look to the Slovenian and the Israeli in this boat. Fistravec in the bow seat with the white visor on, and Fridman in the stroke seat. Quite a lot heavier. Worth keeping an eye on that weight difference.
But you can just see Jack and Nick have just kind of edged out, and it's not about trying to take a massive amount of difference in one stroke. It's just about every stroke, a couple of inches at a time, just moving clear. They're getting their rhythm. They can look across to the other side and see other crew kind of looking over their shoulders, wondering where the Leander crew's gone.
Well, they're both multiple winners at Henley, aren't they? Nick Middleton and Jack Beaumont. Jack Beaumont, only 22 years old, has helped Leander to the Prince of Wales title in the past 4 Henleys. Jack Beaumont, there. Behind him, Nick Middleton, lives in the town. Also a multiple winner at Henley.
And what's great, they're 2 young guys that get really heavily involved in the club, you know. And it's great to see them out here kind of leading the double sculls, which is an international event. You know, Leander have got so much history in this particular boat event. We've won it 11 times, and I think we've had 3 composite wins as well. So there's lots of history, and I'm sure they want to get their names and their gold on the kind of honours board at Leander by winning this particular event today.
Nick Middleton is vice-captain of Leander this year, isn't he?
Yeah.
Also a freelance wedding and expedition photographer. So he's multi-skilling. Just a rower.
Multi-talented.
Multi-talented. There are a few photographers in the GB rowing squad. Pete Reed, the GB men's 8, he was in the 4 at 2012. Very talented photographer.
And you can just look at the symmetry there, the crew in the overhead shot. Just they move away, just inching away. They'll be really enjoying this now as they come into the middle part of the race of Round Foley.
This will be a special part to their summer because, as you've already mentioned, Mark, the disappointment of missing out on a trip to Rio this summer. In all probability, I suppose it could be injuries or something untoward happen, but they're the next cabs off the rank, aren't they? They're the next ones to go if anything does happen. But having just missed out on selection, this will be their big race, won't it? This will be their big day out. Yeah,
Henley's huge. You know, to come to Henley and, you know, win a kind of international event like the double sculls is massive for these young guys. And, you know, obviously they've just missed out. You know, this is the future talent of British sculling, and you know, they were racing at Lucerne at the World Cup when Jack got kind of drafted in to do the quad, and he had to do 2 races in one day, which was quite challenging. But, you know, definitely look out for these 2 guys in the next couple of years in the British team.
Yeah, Nick Middleton racing a men's double with Beaumont at the opening World Cup in Varese this summer, so they've been on the international circuit together. And I mentioned Jack Beaumont in the face of adversity. He was involved in a horrible training collision which gave him a really horrendous 12 months, but he's fought back well from injury to be here today.
But that's the sort of individual he is. You know, he's had some struggles, and that's it. When you get injured or something like that happens, you kind of turn it around and just, you know, he's become a better athlete for it. Not that you want to go through something like that. It was horrendous what happened, but he's such a talented guy that, you know, you knew that he would come back stronger from that incident.
Yeah, He won a European Championship bronze in 2015 in Poznan in the men's quad for Great Britain. Jack Beaumont alongside Charles Cousins, Sam Townsend and Graham Thomas. Pete Lambert. Charles Cousins was the man missing on that day. He had his own injury problems, Charles Cousins, so he sat in for him. And with Townsend, Thomas and Lambert won a bronze in those European Championships. And once again, showing his pedigree, showing his potential as well. Really good performance from Beaumont and Middleton.
And they're not letting up either. They just keep moving away, keep inching out. And they're really going to enjoy this as they come through the stewards' enclosure. You know, they're going to hear the crowd. You know, they get to soak it up and look back at the crew behind them.
Well, in 2015, it was a Leander boat that won the Double Sculls Challenge Cup. Collins and Walton in the boat on that occasion. Both of them will be...
they're off to Rio.
Exactly, that's your point proven, really, isn't it? Yeah. They're heading to Rio. And these guys will be the ones to watch in the future, no doubt to that. Middleton and Beaumont, who had a good win against the Dutch in the semi-finals yesterday. This will be even more emphatic. 2.5 lengths against the Dutch yesterday. Keeping an eye on the Israeli and the Slovenian. Fistravec and Fridman. But they are a long way off the pace here.
And that just shows the depth we have in British Sculls. We've got these two guys winning this event by this margin, and they can't get into the team to go to Rio. So, you know, things are in a good place for kind of going forward and in the future. And, you know, it's a real kind of controlled performance today.
Controlled performance indeed. And they've got a bit left, don't they? If they are needing to give it some welly in the final stage, just go on, Mark.
And that's what you could see there. They were just communicating, and that's the thing about being in a small boat. You know, you're quite close together. There's not a massive amount of noise, and you can actually communicate, just say a few words. And you just see Jack talking to Nick there as they were kind of coming through the enclosures.
The way you talk, Mark, you sound like you've been in the W yourself.
Well, it's weird when you have different races. If you have a race like this, you know, you probably come off the gas, you know, a bit earlier. You can soak the atmosphere up. You can communicate and chat. And it's always, you know, when do you kind of come off it a little bit so you can actually enjoy it when you don't have a race to the line, which they don't have today.
Mark Hunter, Olympic gold medalist in lightweight men's double. Here they come then. A really good moment for two of Great Britain's stars of the future, Jack Beaumont and Nick Middleton, over the line to take gold in the Double Sculls Challenge Cup for Leander. The celebrations. Here come the boat who gave them a run, Fistravec and Fridman, but not too much doubt at any stage about the winners of that one, the Double Sculls Challenge Cup, Middleton and Beaumont.
And they'll enjoy their celebrations tonight.